In this video, we're going to focus on multiplication of number bases. So how can we multiply 102 in base 3 by 21 in base 3? First of all, we're going to pick this one and then multiply it across 102. So we have 1 times 2 is 2, so I'll write 2 here. Then 1 times 0 is 0, so we have 0 here. And lastly, 1 times 1 is 1, so we have 1 here. Now we are done with this one. Let's move on to the 2. Now we have 2 times 2 is 4, but because we are dealing with base 3, we can't write all the 4 here. No, we can't do that. So what we're going to do is, we will divide the 4 by the base, which is 3. So we're going to have 1 remainder, 1. And always we write the remainder. So we're going to write the 1 here and then keep this 1. Next, we have 2 times 0 is 0 plus this one making 1. So we have 1 here. And lastly, we have 2 times 1, which is 2. Then from here, we can add everything. We have 2 plus 0, because here is nothing. We assume it is 0. So we have 2 here. Then 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. The 2 is less than the base, so we write everything. We have 2. Then here we have 0 plus 2, which is 2. And pretty much this is it. We have the base to be 3. And then you are done. Now let's move on to the next example. We have 1, 3, 2, 2, base 8 multiplied by 1, 3, base 8. You can pause the video and try this first. Let me write the base well. Right, so let's start. First, we will pick this 3 and then multiply it across, right? So we have 3 times 2 is 6. Because the 6 is less than the base, we will write it here. Then we have 3 times 2 again, which is 6. Then we have 3 times 3, which is 9. Because the 9 is greater than the base, we can't write the 9 here. No. So what we're going to do is to divide the 9 by the base, which is 8. 8 goes into 9 one time, then we are left with 1. Remainder 1, right? So what we're going to do is to write the remainder. So we have 1 here, then let's keep this one. Next, we have 3 times 1 is 3, plus this one making 4. So we are done with this 3. Now let's move on to this one, right? We have 1 times 2 is 2, so I'm going to write the 2 here. 1 times 2 again is 2, so we have 2 here. Then 1 times 3 is 3. And lastly, 1 times 1 is 1. And from here, we can add everything, right? So we have 6 plus 0, because nothing is here, we have 6. Then we have 6 plus 2, which is 8, and the 8 is equal to the base, so we will divide it by the base. We have 8 divided by 8, which is 1 remainder 0. And always we write the remainder, so we're going to write 0 here and then keep this one. Next, we have 1 plus 2, which is 3, plus this one making 4. So we have 4 here. Now let's move on to the next column. We have 4 plus 3, which is 7. And the 7 is less than the base, so we will write everything here. And lastly, nothing is here, so we assume it to be 0. We have 0 plus 1, which is 1. And pretty much this is it. 17406 in base 8. And you are done. Let's move on to the next example. We have 20 in base 3 all to the power 2. Now how can we solve this? Pause the video and try first. And from this problem, it is the same as 20 in base 3 times 20 in base 3. And this could also be written as 20 in base 3 times 20 in base 3. And from here, we can solve it. We have 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 2 is still 0. So we are done with this one. Now let's focus on this 2. we have 2 times 0 is 0, then 2 times 2 is 4. But because the 4 is less than the base, we can't write everything. So we will divide the 4 by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time, then we are left with what? 1, right? So we have 1 remainder 1. And like I said, always we write the remainder. So we're going to have 1 here. And because nothing is here, we will still write this one that we left it here. And from here, we can sum everything, right? So we have 0 plus 0 is 0. Then here we also have 0. And we have 1, 1. And always don't forget your base 3. And guess what? You are done. So guys, I hope you found this video useful. Please give it a thumbs up and also watch my other videos on addition and subtraction of number bases. Thanks a lot for watching. See you again on the next video.